Welcome to Hustle to Harmony, the podcast for ambitious women in business looking to ditch the toxic hustle culture and reclaim their time, freedom, and identity, all while scaling to multiple 6 and 7 figures in their business. I'm your host, Johanna, and I am anti-BS, anti-hustle, and ready to share all the juicy tips, tricks, and secrets that I've discovered helping hundreds of women find balance so you can find success in your own business without sacrificing your well-being. Whether you're a corporate climber, an entrepreneur, or someone just looking to make it big without losing yourself in the process, this podcast is for you. Let's jump into today's episode. If you have team members that can't do anything without asking you a question first, this episode is really going to help you out. We're going to talk about how to actually delegate so that way the people that you hired to do the work actually do the work. Okay, this is a super simple process, but it all starts with you first. You have to let go of control. If somebody that you hired, they looked great on paper, they did a great interview, and all of a sudden they're asking you question after question after question, we either made a poor choice in hiring or we're part of the problem. It could be both. I'm going to go on the assumption that you did a great job hiring, that they didn't fake their resume, and that maybe we need to learn to relinquish a little bit of control. Maybe we need to make the environment feel a little bit safer in case someone screws up, that they don't feel like they're going to get fired. So first, we're going to talk about how we can relinquish control, right? And then I'm going to get into a really simple framework that is going to help you never have to answer another question again. So first of all, we have to learn how to let go of control. The easiest way to do that is to create SOPs. So that way the person that comes in knows exactly how you like to get things done. Okay? That's a good starting point. So go through, make an SOP, whatever it is that you hired them for, make sure they know how you've done it in the past. You've also got to remember that you hired them. So you have to take some of their advice when it comes to the way that you do things. Right. I know it's a little difficult, but it's not terrible. So if you know you no longer want to do this particular task and you went through the hiring process and you found somebody that's really great at this particular task, they have a way of doing it that may or may not be better than yours, but it's their way and it gets things done the way that they're used to getting it done. So even if they look at your SOP, allow them to come up with different ways to improve or ideas that they might have, and then brainstorm together and see what works and what doesn't work, okay? But allow them that. That's step one. You have to say, here's the SOP, here's how I do things. Tell me what you like and what you don't like, and then let me know what you feel like might be better if we changed it, okay? That's step one. You have to understand that the person that you hired is the person that's going to get the job done. The whole point of delegating, of hiring, is so that you no longer have to make a decision, because that mental load that we carry when we have to make decisions is sometimes takes up more time than the task itself. I'll give you a very simple example. I hate cooking. I enjoy cooking. I hate cooking 7 days a week, okay? So I asked my husband if he would be able to take dinner one night out of the week, so I didn't have to do it all of the nights. He said yes. Fantastic. When it came to, so he does the grocery shopping as well. And then it comes to he's going to go to the grocery store. He's like, okay, well, what do you want for dinner on Friday? What do you mean what do I want? That's your day. You're supposed to pick that day. And then I would pick the food and he'd be like, cool, can you put the recipes, put all the ingredients in the reminder app. So now I'm coming up with food and I'm putting the ingredients in the app, and it's now a part of my work. I didn't completely delegate the task, right? Completely delegating the task would be me sitting down for dinner on Friday and food shows up in front of my face. That's great. Same thing for you in your business, right? If you completely delegate social media content and you sit down for work on Monday and no social media content was posted, there's a problem, right? Or if they're constantly asking you well, I wasn't really sure, should we do this? Should we do that? What picture do you like? Blah, blah, blah. It's not completely delegated. You're still making decisions on it. The whole purpose of getting somebody else to do something, paying somebody else to do something, is so that way it's completely off your list. You're not thinking about it. You're not questioning anything about it. It's completely out of your mind. You can do something else with that brain power, okay? That's the control piece. Now we have to talk about if you have team members that constantly ask you questions. This is super, super simple. You're going to love it. So you have somebody that asks you questions all the time, and you constantly have to say, oh, go do this, go do this, go do this, or try that, try that. Then make it clear, right? This is a company-wide announcement. It can be an email, you can talk about it in a team meeting, whatever it is. You're making it very, very clear that from this point on, whatever day you're watching this, from today going forward, we're going to have a policy that says, if you have a question, you are more than welcome to come to me with that question, but you must also come to me with 3 possible solutions. This makes them do the research to figure it out, right? Before they even talk to you, okay? You don't even know that there's a question yet. They're going to go do the research to try and figure it out. And if they still feel a little nervous, they don't know which one to pick, of course they can come to you, right? Come to me with those three solutions and we'll talk through it. So say they don't know which one to pick or they're still nervous. They come to you with those 3 things. Your job is not to say, number 1, we're going to do that one. Your job is to say, cool, those all sound great. Which one do you think we should go with? And then allow them to pick which one that they think is best through process of elimination. If they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm so nervous, well, then ask them, which one would you immediately eliminate right away? Does it take too much time? Do you think it'll take too much work? Have you not seen it have success before? Whatever it is. Do process of elimination. Let them say, oh, I wouldn't do the second one. Great. Now you have 2 options left. Which one do you think is best? Even if you already know which one is better, don't give your opinion. Your opinion doesn't matter at this point. If they're both going to work, let them run with it. They're the ones that were paid to do the job. Let them figure it out. Okay? So they choose B. Great. Go handle B. And then they'll come back and they'll let you know how it went, blah, blah, blah. After that happens a couple of times, naturally, and if it doesn't, you might have to force it, but naturally, 9 times out of 10, people are going to say, I can actually come up with 3 solutions and pick one. So, hey, we have this problem. I figured out we can do this. Can I run with it? Your job is to say yes. Okay. Once that happens a couple times, then naturally it'll become, we had this problem. I implemented this solution. No longer a problem. You don't have to worry about it anymore. To eventually where you won't even know there was a problem. Okay. You're allowing them through this process to become autonomous, to know that they can make decisions in critical moments and not have your business burned to the ground and not be fired if things didn't go properly. Okay. This is super, super important. And the other thing is, if you have a little bit of that control issue, when you're having them come to you with those 3 solutions, even if they're picking one that doesn't really work or wouldn't be the one that you would pick, you're still seeing that it works. So you're also teaching yourself hey, even though it's not the way I would do it, the problem's still getting solved. Okay. So it's a very all-around, well-rounded system in order to let your team members know they're not going to get fired, the business isn't going to burn down, and hey, you do have a brain that you can use, right? So it's very, very good. I actually even use this stuff with my kids. I don't tell them come to me with 3 problems. I'm oh, how do you think we could fix this, right? And now my kids will just walk up and be like, hey, do you have glue? I'm what did we break? Right? But it works. You're teaching people that they can be autonomous, and that's exactly what we want. Because again, when we delegate things, we want to not even think about it anymore, right? You have bigger and better things to do, which is why you outsource it in the first place. Don't forget that. Okay. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and tap that button, subscribe, get all the notifications for when these come out. They're going to be short and sweet, and I'm going to make sure that you can create the business that you want to create the team that you want to create, and have the life that you want to have, so that way you can be a successful business owner and a present parent at the same time. There's links down below. You can join my Facebook group. That would be super cool. It's called Time Management Strategies for Women in Business. I go live in there weekly as well with tips and tricks. There's a lot of community in there. So Again, that's Time Management Strategies for Women in Business. I would love to see you inside.